Blizzard's announced some update development notes with the 20th anniversary. We have already discussed this Drakthir spread their wings to new classes in another video. It'll be set up as a card up above, as well as the Drakthir racial updates. So we're really going to be focusing on the class changes. There's quite a few reworks and just new talents within this. This does come a little bit as a surprise to how many there are, because this is a very long post. And I just don't know if this will be good at this point. Like, there hasn't really been much testing of anything. But let's go ahead and get into this. Alright, so for Death Knight Deathbringer, there's a new talent. Reaper's Onslaught reduces the cooldown of Reaper's Mark by 15 seconds, but the number of Mirror / obliterates empowered by Exterminate is reduced by 1. Choice node with Dark Talons. Okay, kind of cool. New talent, Swift and Painful. If no enemies are struck by Soul Rupture, you gain 10% strength for 8 seconds. Wave of Souls is 100% more effective on the main target of your Soul Reaper's Mark. Replaces Swift and Painful Death choice node. Okay, so they took out a choice node, put in just this talent. I mean, that seems like a good talent, so I wouldn't be too upset about that. New talent, Reaper of Souls. When you apply Reaper's Mark, the cooldown of your Soul Reaper is reset. Your next Soul Reaper costs no runes and it explodes regardless of target's remaining health. Soul Reaper damage increased by 20%. Choice node with Grim Reaper. Okay, that's awesome. So, does some nice AoE damage. Alright, Painful Death effects are now baseline to Exterminate. Exterminate empowers 2 obliterates, Morrowinds to summon the Scythe baseline. Alright, Grim Reaper has been updated. Reaper's Mark initial strike grants Killing Machine 3 charges of Bone Shield. Reaper's Mark explosion deals up to 30% increased damage based on your target's missing health. Okay, get a little bit stronger as you kill something. Wither Array's been updated to Blood Plague. Frost Fever deals its damage 100% faster, and the second Scythe of Exterminate applies them. Dark Talons has been updated to Morrowind, and Heartstrike Consuming Killing Machine or Rhyme has a 25% chance to grant 3 stacks of Icy Talons and increase its maximum stacks by the same amount for 6 seconds. Runic Power spending abilities count as Shadow Frost while Icy Talons is active. Okay. And Bind in Darkness has been updated. Howling Blast deals 30% increased damage to the main target. Blood Boil deals 10% increased damage. And now Shadow Frost, and is Shadow Frost, okay. Shadow Frost damage applies 2 stacks to Reaper's Mark and 4 stacks when it's a critical strike. Rune Card Plates now reduces the magic and physical damage you take by 1.5% per stack was 2. Okay, nerf. And the following talents have been removed. And Frost also just has a change. Arctic Assault now fires a glacial advance at 80% effectiveness, was 100%. I mean, overall, it's a buff for Deathbringer. And those abilities do look pretty cool to me. I don't really play Death Knight, so I don't have too much of an opinion on it, but overall seems cool, and I know they are quite tanky, so this is probably a good change. Alright, Demon Hunters. Sigil Spite icons updated, the Hunt icon updated. Felsguard Focused Hatred now provides bonus damage beyond one target only, with the bonus reducing by 10% for each target beyond 1. Okay, so basically it does 200% damage to one target, 190% damage to 2 targets, and goes down until you hit 10 targets and it only does 100% damage. Okay. That's cool. I think my Demon Hunter is playing that. I'm not positive. Alright, Vengeance meta now heals you for 40% of your maximum health instead of modifying your health directly. Whoa. So your health doesn't go up, it's just a heal now? I don't like that. Casting meta while in demon form no longer heals you. Triggering last resort always heals you for 40% of your base maximum health. This sounds awful. This cleans up some edge cases in meta where activating it while demon form is active would sometimes not heal you and sometimes heal you a reduced amount. This is an increase to the healing received when triggering last resort while in demon form. Metamorphosis health restoration is now will also now appear in healing logs. Okay. I mean, overall, I feel like that was shit. Just awful. Like, that's crazy that you don't get extra health. That's like one of the only um, defensives that Vengeance has. Alright, well, hopefully that'll make them less good, and so stop having to play with them. Alright, Druids. Mark of the Wild now costs 1% base mana, was 4%. It's honestly dumb that they cost any mana at all. Adaptive Swarms icon has been updated. Convoke the Spirit icon has been updated. Cool. Druid of the Claw. Ravage can now be used within 20 seconds of it triggering, was 15. I never really had an issue with that, but I guess there could be certain situations where it could be an issue. Where you're moving like between packs if you're taking it in keys. Let's see. Balance has a whole load of changes, which is great because they were doggy. Alright. New talent, Sunseeker Mushrooms. Sunfire damage has a chance to grow a magical mushroom at the target's location. After 1 second, the mushroom detonates, dealing nature damage, and then additional nature damage over 10 seconds. Afflicted targets are slowed by 50%. Generates up to 20 astral power based on targets hit. Choice node with wild mushrooms. Okay, I think that's much better than wild mushrooms. Gets rid of an active ability. I mean, wild mushrooms is probably better for burst because you get to choose when it happens, but I feel like that's probably Sunseeker's probably just better. Alright, new talent, Whirling Stars. Celestial Augment's cooldown is reduced to 75 seconds and it has 2 charges, but its duration is reduced by 40%. Huh, that's an interesting one. 75 seconds, so that's a minute 15, but it doesn't last as long, which I think it's like 30 seconds now, so it would only be like 16, 18 seconds, right? No, something around there, 18 to 20. I mean, that could be something. It'd be a lot better for burst. I mean, consistent burst, not just full burst. I don't know, could be cool. Probably not really needed though. New talent, Astronomical Impact. The critical strike damage of your astral spells is increased by 20%. Known issue, this does not currently affect Umbral Embrace cast critical strikes. Okay. New talent, Crashing Star. Shooting Stars has a 15% chance to instead call down a Crashing Star, dealing astral damage to the target and generating 4 astral power. Okay, that's kind of cool. Just extra AP in AoE. New talent, Hail of Stars. Casting a free Star Surge or Starfall grants Solstice for 3 seconds. Free spells cast by Convoke the Spirit grant a 1-second version of this effect. Okay. I don't know what Solstice is, so we'll have to check on that later. New talent, Circle of Life and Death. Basically all the dots deal it in less time and or hots heal in less time. Okay. All the other druids basically already have that. Alright, Starfall was learned by all balanced druids at 15 was a talent. Awesome. Starfall damage increased by 10%. Cool. Wild Mushroom now generates 10 astral power upon hitting a single target, up from 5. Uh, Warrior of Elune increases astral power generation of affected starfires by 30%, was 40, so a little bit of a nerf. Nature's Grace no longer increases the damage of affected wraths and starfires. Okay, Umbral Intensity is now a 1-point talent that increases the damage of Solar Eclipse Wrath by 20%, was 15%. Lunar Eclipse Starfire by 15%, and the damage Starfire does to nearby enemies by 30. Okay, nice little buff. I mean, it's a little bit of a nerf for Solar Eclipse Wrath, but that's fine. Alright, Astral Smolders. Chance to trigger is reduced to 35%, was 40%, and it deals 60% of damage dealt, was 50. Okay, less of a chance to trigger, but more damage. And if you take the Sunseeker mushrooms at the top, then that's even better, because that'll just give you more opportunities, basically. Alright, Touch the Cosmos has been updated. Casting Wrath in an Eclipse has a 12% chance to make your next Star Surge or Starfall free. Casting Starfire in Eclipse has an 18% chance to make your next Star Surge or Starfall free. That's cool. Like free damage. And I think that's what they kind of had in like season 1 of Dragonflight, and that's the tier that they wanted before they went into this whole like everyone hates Boomkin and nerf it into the ground phase. Alright. Balance of all things now grants 8 to 16% crit strike, was 10 to 20, less. Okay, a little bit of nerf. Orbit Breaker calls down a full moon every 30th shooting stars, was 25. Okay. Power of Goldrun is now a 1-point talent, was 2, and its damage has been reduced by 35%. Not a big nerf. Easy talent point back. Astral Communion is no longer grants AP on entering Eclipse. Instead, entering an Eclipse causes your Star Surge or Starfall to cost 15 AP less. That's cool. Twin Moons moved to Starfall's position in row 3. Okay, talent changes for a few things. Connector added between some more talents. Basically just a bunch of spec tree updates, which is great. They did have a little bit funky pathing. And remove talents, Starfall, Greater Alignment, and Lunar Shrapnel. Alright, Keeper of the Grove looks like that's specifically for balance. Potent enchantments cause whirling stars to reduce the cooldown of celestial alignment by an additional 10 seconds. Control of the Dream now reads are available to be used or at maximum charges. If the player has whirling stars, it reduces the cooldown of celestial alignment based on the time spent at maximum charges. Okay. The Restore Druid's got one new talent, Reactive Resin. When your restoration, heal, over time effects are removed by enemies, they are replaced by Reactive Resin, healing an ally over 6 seconds. Okay, that's definitely sounds like a PvP thing. And Wildstalker Flourish now affects symbiotic blooms, and Flourish basically just increases how long hots are going to be active, but doesn't diminish their healing. Alright, Evoker. Blessing of the Bronze now costs 1%. Okay, that's cool that they're doing that for all the raid buffs. Still shouldn't cost any mana, but Clobbering Sweep. Red. Okay, that's part of the Evoker changes. Permeating Chills, part of it. Alright. Permeating Chill no longer spams immune messages when attacking enemies who are immune to slows. Cool. Renewing Blaze is no longer affected by healing received modifiers, both positive and negative. Dampening in Arena is a special case and will continue. Okay, PvP, don't care about that. But it's nice that Renewing Blaze isn't affected by other things. Heavy Wing Beats and Clobbering Sweep are no longer a choice node. Their position has changed in the class tree. Do you just get them? Oh, so are you required to spend 2 talents now for them? But you get both? Oh. Alright, Skull Commander Bombardments now summon a variety of different Dracula models. That's cool. Alright, Hunters, new talent, Death Blow. Kill command / aim shot has a 10% chance to grant Death Blow. Death Blow, the cooldown of kill shot is reset. Your next kill shot can be used on any target regardless of their current health. See, this is something that, like, kill shot isn't even very strong. It's, for marksman, it's kind of, like, okay. But for BM, it does nothing. So it's, I don't know why they're really adding things. But, alright, Steady Shot now generates 10 focus baseline for all specs. I don't know if that's a nerf or not. Updated animations for volley and rapid fire. Improved kill shot has been removed. Alright, and looks like they've basically redone Dark Ranger. So, Dark Ranger, Black Arrow has been redesigned. Kill shot is now replaced with Black Arrow. That's cool. Black Arrow, you attempt to finish off a wounded target, dealing high shadow damage and low shadow damage over time, only usable on enemies less than 20 health. Withering Fire, redesigned every 4 cast of Bestial Wrath, while True Shot is active. You surrender to darkness for 12 seconds. When you gain Death Blow, Black Arrow automatically fires at your target and 2 additional Black Arrows at 50% effectiveness. Shadow Surge has been redesigned. Periodic damage from Black Arrow has a small chance to erupt in a burst of darkness, dealing moderate shadow damage to all enemies near the target. Damage reduced beyond 8 targets. Okay, Shadow Hounds updated for BM only. When summoning a Dire Beast, you have a 25% chance to also summon a Shadow Hound. New talent, Bleak Arrows. Your auto shot now deals shadow damage. Your auto shot has a 15 or 8% chance to grant Death Blow. I wonder if that's a 1 or 2 point node, or if it's like BM has 15% chance while MM has 8, or the opposite way. Alright. New talent, Phantom Pain. When kill command aim shot damages a target affected by Black Arrow, 5% of the damage dealt is replicated to each other unit affected by Black Arrow. New talent, Banshee's Mark. Murder of Crows. No one takes that. Now deals shadow damage, and casting Black Arrow has a 25% chance to summon a Murder of Crows on your target. Maybe people will take it now. New talent, the Bell Tolls. Black Arrow is now usable on enemies with greater than 80% or less than 20% health. Isn't that what? I have no idea. I thought you could only use it less than 20%. Oh, okay. So you can't use it between 20 and 80, but you can use it below 20 and above 80. I understand. Okay. Shadow Dagger, while in combat casting Disengage, releases a fan of daggers at nearby enemies, dealing very low shadow damage and slowing afflicted. Okay. Bleak Powder, casting Black Arrow while Beast Cleave or Trick Shots is active, causes Black Arrow to explode upon hitting a target, dealing moderate damage. Cool. Soul Drinker, when an enemy affected by Black Arrow dies, you have a 10% chance to gain Death Blow. I mean, I guess. Choice node with Shadow Hounds. I'd rather have a Shadow Hound, at least for BM. Alright, visual effects updated for a couple of things. Let's Looks like the rest of them are just easy changes for like visuals and little things like that. Alright, Sentinel change, Lunar Storms visual effects have been updated. Okay. Beast Mastery changes. Snakeskin Quiver. Your auto shot has a 15% chance to also fire a Cobra shot. I wonder if that gives you the cooldown on Bestial Wrath too. That'd be cool if it did. Alright, Serpentine Rhythm. Casting Cobra Shot increases its damage by 15%, stacking up to 6 times. Upon reaching 6 stacks, the bonus is removed and you gain 8% increased pet damage for 10 seconds. Okay, that's a kind of cool little buff. Would be pretty annoying to play around. Alright, Barb Skills, casting Cobra Shot reduces the cooldown of Barb Shot by 2 seconds. Okay. Cobra Senses redesigned. Reduces the focus cost of Cobra Shot by 5 and increases damage. Hunter's Prey, now Kill Shot will strike one additional target and deal 10% increased damage for each of your active pets. Stacks up to 5 times. That's cool. Barb Shot damage increased by 100%. Barb Shot cooldown increased by 6 seconds, but duration increased by 4 seconds. That's pretty cool. I mean, if it's still the same, like, reset timing or chance, then that's just even easier to keep Barb Shot up and multi-dot it. Alright, Barb Shot, Pet Frenzy duration increased to 12 seconds from 8. Yep. Okay, Thrill of the Hunt duration increased to 12 seconds, was 8. Pack Tactics, Energy Regen increased to 125% and replaces Steady Shot. Animal Companion no longer reduces the damage of all your pets by 35%. I don't know what that was doing. Maybe that was not intended or something. Following pet ability damage has been reduced by 35%. Like all of them? Okay. No improved kill command anymore either. Alright. Marksmanship. Pincushion. Casting Steady Shot reduces the cooldown of Aim Shot by 2 seconds. Choice node with improved Steady Shot. Don't know if you'd take that. New talent. Improved Death Blow. Aim Shot now has a 15% chance and Rapid Fire has a 25% chance to grant Death Shot. Kill Shot's critical strike damage is increased by 25%. And Death Blow is the thing that just resets Kill Shot's cooldown and lets you use it on anyone. Alright, improved Steady Shot has been updated. Now makes Steady Shot grants an additional 10 focus. Okay, so then you gotta choose between Aim Shot more often or less focus. I'm not sure which one. You'd probably want more focus. Alright, Precise Shots has been updated to Precise Shot. Now empowers your next cast of Arcane Shot, Chimera Shot, or Multi-Shot to deal 100% increased damage, was 2 casts at 70%. Okay, Steady Focus has been updated to increase your haste by 8% for 15 seconds. And that was, you had to shoot Steady Shot twice. Steady Focus no longer plays its visual effects when it's refreshed. True Shot now reduces the focus cost of Aim Shot. Rapid Fire Barrage, Rapid Fire Effectiveness increased to 40% instead of 30. And the position of 2 talents has been swapped. And removed Eagle Talon's True Focus. Alright, and Survival's got some changes for Ruthless Marauder. Damage from Fury of Eagle has a 20% chance to generate a stack of Tip of the Spear. When Fury of the Eagle ends, your haste is increased by 8% for 10 seconds. Now 1 point talent. I believe that's a buff overall. Merciless Blows has been redesigned. Butchery causes affected targets to bleed for heavy damage over 12 seconds. Sickums updated. Kill commands chance to grant death blows increased. And death blow now makes kill shot strike an additional 2 targets. And your chance to gain death blows doubled during coordinated assault. Exposed flank has been updated, now empowers your kill command to deal 50% increased damage, strike 3 targets, and generate a tip of the spear stack for each target it hit. Fury of the damage, Eagle damage increased 25%. Fury of the Eagle channel time reduced to 3 seconds was 4 seconds. That's awesome. Kill command resets no longer reduce the cooldown of Fury of Eagle. Butchery damage increased by 50%. Butchery no longer has charges and its cooldown has been increased to 15 seconds. Tip of the spear consumption grace period has been reduced to 0.3 seconds, was 0.7. Okay. Relentless Primal Ferocity now grants 2 additional stacks of Tip of the Spear. It's doubled. And changed position of some stuff. Pack Leader changes for survival specifically. Howl of the Pack now also increases Wildfire Bomb damage by 20. And Wild Attacks now also increase the damage of Raptor Strike, Mongoose Bite by 20%. I mean, overall, I feel like that's a decent buff. The only thing that worries me is the no longer having reduced cooldown for Fury of the Eagle. Right? Yeah, kill command reset no longer reduces the cooldown of Fury of the Eagle. Okay, Mage. Got a couple of changes here. Arcane Intellect cost less. Yep. Shifting power icon update. Cool. Spellslinger. New talent. Signature spell. Choice node with shifting shards. Arcane. When Magi's spark explodes, you conjure 6 arcane splinters. Frost. Consuming Winter's Chill with Glacial Spike conjures 2 additional frost splinters. Arcane Splinter Storm has a 5% chance to generate clear casting. Frost no longer applies Winter's Chill, and it has 5% chance to gain Brain Freeze. Alright, Arcane's new talent, Aether Vision. Consuming Nether Precision with Arcane Blast increases the damage of your next Arcane Barrage by 10%, and generate 2 Arcane Charges. Okay. Time Loop's been updated to increase duration of Arcane Debilitation by 2 seconds, and its chance to trigger increased. Ley Drinker has been updated, no longer affects Arcane Barrage and casting Touch the Magi. Now grants Ley Drinker. Ley Drinker's chance to trigger increased. I'm surprised that Arcane looks to be getting buffs, as they were like the best that they were looking in a while. Alright, Charged Orb now increases the damage of Arcane Orb by 15%. Consortium's Bauble now increases Arcane Blast by 8% and reduces its mana cost by 5%. Its position is changed in the tree. Fixed an issue where Arcane Debilitation contributed twice its damage increase. Okay, fix another issue. Talents in Gate 2, swap position. Resonant Orange has been removed. Fire has been doing poorly, so I'm not surprised to see changes here. Majesty of the Phoenix has been updated. Casting Phoenix Flames causes your next flame strike to have its critical strike chance increased by 20%, and critical strike damage by 20% stacks up to 3 times. Heat Shimmer can once again trigger while casting Scorch, and it's not consumed when it triggers during Scorch. And Fuel the Fire is now shown in the spellbook. Fixed an issue. And fixed another issue. Alright, I mean, overall arcane buffs. Fire, kind of a little bit of a buff for Majesty of the Phoenix. Other than that, just bug fixes. Alright, 2 Monk cooldowns icons have been updated. Mistweaver, Dome of Mist. Enveloping Mist transforms 80% of its remaining periodic healing into a Dome of Mist when dispelled, absorbing damage and increasing healing received by the monk by 30% for 8 seconds. Okay. I mean, that's cool that it's a passive ability, because I don't think anyone would ever take that as a talent. Ancient Teachings is now baseline and transfers damage from Crackling Jade Lightning, but now transfers 30% of damage into healing. Is that a nerf? Alright, new talent, Jadefire Teachings. After casting Jadefire Stomper, Thunder Focus T, Ancient Teachings transfers an additional 140 damage to healing for 15 seconds. While Jadefire Teaching is active, your stamina is increased by 5%. That's pretty awesome. Refreshment Life Cocoon now grants 5 stacks of Mana Tea and applies 2 stacks of Healing Elixir to its target. Okay. Is the Mana Tea for your target or you? Oh, I'd assume for you. Alright. Rushing Wind Kick kicks up a powerful gust of wind, dealing nature damage in a 25-yard cone to enemies in front of you. Split evenly among them. Damage is increased by 5% for each target hit up to 30%. Grants rushing winds for 4 seconds, increasing renewing mist healing by 50%. Ooh, replaces Rising Sun Kick. Oh, it's a choice node with Jadefire Teaching. I feel like you'd rather just take Jadefire Teaching than replacing Rising Sun Kick. 25-yard cone, I mean, that's kind of cool. Damage increased. I don't know, I feel like Jadefire Teaching is probably better. Alright, Jade Empowerment. Casting Thunder Focus Tea increases your next Crackling Jade Lightning's damage by 100%, or not 100, 1000%, and causes it to chain to 4 additional enemies. Choice node with Dance of Chi-Ji. Okay, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's a cool thing to have there, but no one uses Crackling Jade Lightning. I mean, maybe if it's 1000% damage and chains to additional enemies, but making it a choice node with Dance of Chi-Ji really just seals in that you wouldn't take that. Calming Coalescence has been redesigned, increases the absorbed amount of Life Cocoon by 80%. That's cool. I really needed that since it's based off of basically your own health, and so even though it's an external, you can't really use it on tanks because it's so little of a shield for a tank that it doesn't even matter. Alright, Crackling Jade Lightning, increased damage, channels 25% faster, Blackout Kick damage increased. Awakened Jade Filer now additionally causes Blackout Kick to strike 2 additional targets at 70% effectiveness. That's pretty cool. I wonder if that's on top of the stacks of where if you Tiger Palm you can also increase how many Blackout Kicks you send out. Because if it is, then that's really cool. Alright. Dance of Cheese, chance to trigger has been increased by 100% and has moved talents locations. Enveloping mist can now be dispelled. The following talents have been removed. Okay. Jeez, paladins have a lot of changes. Alright. Many talents have changed locations. Holy Ritual allies are healed when you cast a blessing spell on them and healed again when the blessing ends. Worthy Sacrifice, you automatically cast Blessing of Sacrifice onto allies within 40 yards when they receive damage while below 35% health, and you are not in a loss of control effect. That's awesome. That's really cool. Alright. I mean, it's cool for like lower uh, keys, but it'll be less cool in the higher keys where you have plans for a sack. Alright, Steed of Liberty, Divine Steed also grants Blessing of Freedom for 3 seconds, eye for an eye. Melee and ranged attackers receive holy damage each time they strike you during Ardent Defender or Divine Protection and Divine Shield. Stoicism, the duration of stun effects on you is reduced by 20%. Wrench Evil, turn evils, cast time is reduced by 100%. Stand against evil, turn evil affects 5 additional enemies. Blessing of Sacrifice now removes and prevents all poison and disease effects, so it's kind of like an extra dispel. That's kind of cool. The cooldowns of Repentance and Blinding Light are reduced by 15 seconds. Okay, nice little CC reduction. Holy Power spending abilities are 2% more effective. Divine Steed's cooldown is reduced by 20%, but its duration is reduced by 40%. I'd rather have it longer most of the time, I think. After Cleanse successfully removes an effect from an ally, they are healed. Lay on Hands grants the target 100% increased armor for 30 seconds and ignores healing reduction effects. 10% of all healing done to you from other sources heals up to 4 nearby allies divided evenly among them. Oh, that's really cool. Imagine the prot paladin having that. And so every time your healer heals you as a tank, 10% of it's just spread out to your team as well. Alright. Flash of Light and Holy Light are 30% more effective on your allies, and 40% of the healing done also heals you. Ardent Defender and Divine Protection increase healing taken by 15% for the duration. Your Forbearance duration is reduced by 10 seconds. Removing harmful effects with Divine Shield heals you for 10% for each effect removed. Okay. Allies affected by your blessings have 15% increased movement speed. Divine Steed reduces the cooldown of Hammer of Justice. That's not where I was. Divine Steed reduces the cooldown of 4 nearby allies' major movement abilities by 3 seconds. Your movement speed increased by 3 seconds. 3%. That's pretty cool. The radius of your auras is increased by 20 yards. Probably not needed too much, unless maybe in raid and you're kind of split up. The cooldown of Hammer of Justice is reduced by 15 seconds. Now increases the duration of Avenging Wrath and causes its respective specialization effect. Okay. Consecrated Ground is now a class tree talent. Auras of the Resolute now additionally teaches Paladin Crusader Aura. Seasoned Warhorse is now a passive learned at 40. Judgment damage increased. Cooldown reduced by 1%. Hammer of Justice base cooldown removed or reduced to 45 seconds, which okay, is that no, so this will take it down to 30 seconds. Okay. Avenging Wrath now increases crit. Unbound Freedom now additionally targets a nearby ally by default if you class Blessing of Freedom on yourself. Cool. Light Forge Blessing that heals 3% of your maximum health for all specs. Dusk and Dawn. Blessing of Dawn's effects has been increased by 10% for Prot and Ret and 5% for Holy. Vine's Toll icon updated. Fist of Justice only 1 point and Holy Ages. I mean, overall, I feel like that's a pretty great change for Paladins. And Lightsmith. Authoritative Rebuke. Successfully interrupting an enemy's spellcast reduces your rebuke's cooldown by 1 second. Each effect increased by 100% while wielding a holy armament. Tempered in battle when you or an ally wielding a holy bulwark are healed above maximum health, transfer 100% of your overhealing to your ally. When you or an ally wielding a sacred weapon drop below 40%, redistribute your health immediately and every 1 second for 4 seconds. Removed a couple of talents to replace those. Holy Wog healing increase, Shield of Righteousness damage increase. Prot changes, refining fire, enemies struck by avenging shield burn with holy fire suffering damage over time. That's pretty cool. Wog healing increased, they needed that. Shield of the Righteous damage increased, also needed that. Consecrated Grounds has been removed and they put it in the class tree. Ret Shield of Righteous damage increased. I didn't know that they could do that since they don't have a shield. Wog healing increased by 10%. Alright, Priest. For it change, just like the other ones. Archon. Sustained potency also pauses the duration of Apotheosis, Dark Ascension, or Void form for up to 20 seconds while out of combat or affected by a loss of control. Fix an issue where Cyclone. Okay. Bug fix is good. Void Weaver, PvP change, and other people can now see your Entropic Rift, which is great. And Holy from Darkness Comes Light has been updated to also trigger from Holy Fire damage. Rogues. Not gonna lie to you, I don't care about rogues at all, so we're just gonna skip. Alright. Sky Fury. Good. Raid buff. Mana decrease. All Shaman Ascendance models have been updated. We have a video for that. Shamans can now float on water while in their Ascendant form. Mana Spring no longer has an aura displaying who is benefiting from it. Updated spell visuals and icons. Farseer, Elemental Blast from Ancestors now prioritize your most recent attack target when possible. Ancestors now prefer to Chain Lightning your target when you cast Chain Lightning or targeted versions of Earthquake. Ancestors are now summoned equipped with a historic shaman set. Okay, Stormbringer, new talent, Lightning Conduit. You have a chance to get struck by lightning, increasing your movement speed. The effect is increased to 100% in outdoor areas. You call down a thunderstorm when you reincarn. Okay, it's kind of a dumb change. New talent, Electroshock. Tempest increases your movement speed. Lots of movement speed changes. Storm Swell has been redesigned. Tempest grants 10% mastery, now a choice note against Supercharge. Lightning Shield reduces the damage you take by 3%. When you cast Tempest, you gain Surging Currents, increasing the effectiveness of your next chain heal or Healing Surge by 20% up to 100%. And Conductive Energy icon changed. Tooltips changed. Shocking Grasp removed. Awakening Storm damage reduced by 35%. Fixed a bug. Okay. Not going to go over Elemental or Enhancement. Resto. Coalescing water chain heal increases the initial healing of your next Riptide by 75%, stacks twice, and chain heal mana cost is reduced by 15%. Reactive warding now also allows Earth Shield and Water Shield to consume charges. Okay. We'll just look at this stuff. Chain heals from lively totems are now cast by the shaman. This is intended to clarify the chain's heals cast this way will interact with shaman talents and effects that enhance chain heal. Updated some wording and fixed a bunch of issues. Alright, you can pause here and read that if you really want to, but I don't really care about any of those things. Concert completed, yeah. We now ride Sir Jigglesworth Sr. with a narrower stance. Okay. Okay, now when you collapse your warband, it'll stay collapsed or expanded. Search field supports searching by roam. Awesome. A button to toggle the visibility of the interface has been added next to once the interface is hidden, it can be brought back by double clicking the screen, escape or Alt Z. Okay, and then just a bunch of updates. Well, that was probably a pretty long video. Thanks for watching it. If you did, sorry about the middle of there. I did record this while streaming and had someone come in. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching if you did, and leave a like, comment, or subscribe.